Hi, it's Dwyer. It is September the 3rd, 2025. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. You know, every pundit here online has their own set of questions or concerns headed into the season. Here are my top 5. First concern, Matthew Stafford's back. Folks, I have real interest in the Rams. Is this a real injury? Is he going to be able to throw the ball downfield to Davante Adams? In my opinion, the Rams have a chance to win that division. A healthy Stafford with a healthy Puka Nacua and a healthy Davante Adams could be lethal. The Rams put more of a fear, in my opinion, into the Eagles in the playoffs than the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl. Question number 2, and let me just pivot here and say I understand many disagree with me. I'm just giving you one man's opinion. Question number 2. Which team pops and challenges the Eagles in the NFC East? Folks, I don't believe in the Commanders' defense. Let me also say, too, that if you name me a second-year quarterback, I'm going to raise some doubts. That's whether that second-year guy is Jaden Daniels, whether it's Bo Nix, whether it's Drake May. I'm expecting each to struggle a bit. Now, the Giants, and I'm biased, I'm a Giants fan, the Giants look to be on the rise to me. Neighbors is a talent. Russell Wilson is underrated. Jackson Dart looks as good as any QB from this last draft. And the defense looks rugged, folks. Now, the Giants they were too far below 500 last year for anyone to think that they have a realistic shot of the playoffs. But I do think they have a realistic shot of covering some spreads. The Cowboys also impress me. Has Dak Prescott ever had 2 top wide receivers as talented as Pickens from Pittsburgh and CeeDee Lamb? Folks, let me just say, even if the defense struggles, this team could conceivably win some shootouts and deliver some overs. Let's talk about question 3, and let's be blunt here. Is the Bengals defense going to waste another year of great Bengal offense? Folks, Jamar Chase at times is unguardable. Add in T. Higgins, and an argument can be made that this is the best wide receiver duo in the league. Right? There are very few in the conversation. Right? The guys in Philadelphia, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, are in the conversation. But, I mean, understand, there just aren't many as good as Chase and Higgins. And let's be real here. I know other guys have been winning the MVP, but Joe Burrow might be the best passer in the league. But, and again, we're being blunt. I'm not a team employee. I have no allegiance to the Bengals. The team's season has usually been over by mid-October. Right? The defense not only is terrible, it's a slow starting. You know, at this point, I'm not even sure if the defense can stop the NCAA's USC Trojan college football offense. Let's raise a fourth question. Is Buffalo's defense good enough? Folks, they're in the running for the 1 seed because their division is horrible. But do they have enough defensively to take advantage of the opportunity? Right, I look around the AFC and I see some highly competitive teams with great Ds. Right, the Steelers. Name me a team in the AFC West other than the Raiders. The Ravens. Right, you have some teams out there with really good defenses. The Bills have a decent defense. They don't have an elite defense. Right, this looks like an AFC version of the Detroit Lions. Right, who have a better defense than the Bills do, but don't have that shut down Philly defense. Right? I get the feeling Buffalo's going to do the AFC Eastern thing of winning the division and then running into turbulence in the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Question number 5. And this is really for folks who watch the draft, who feel they have spotted a ringer. Now, with Chris Godwin out and with Jalen McMillan out, are we going to find out that rookie Emeka Egbuka is a number 2 wide receiver in this league from day one? Right? Ready, locked, and loaded to play opposite future Hall of Famer Mike Evans, with a quarterback who throws the ball a lot. Baker Mayfield, Mr. Popeye. Let me just say, Baker threw a lot of yards last year. If Emeka Egbuka, remember that name if you're in a fantasy pool, if he's as ready as I think he is, the runway here might be cleared for takeoff. He might be one of those stories where you look at the guy and you start to realize, wow, this guy was one of the best players from this year's draft. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me hear yours. I'm sure as the season unfolds, we're going to have more and more questions. I understand there are going to be some unexpected things happening, injuries, starters not looking as good as we thought, backups somehow looking like they should be the starter. Maybe Tunsil on the Commander offensive line is going to open things up even more for Jaden Daniels. We're going to find out a lot. But I will say it's week 1 and already some teams are under pressure. Right? If I see Matthew Stafford grabbing his back, if he isn't able to make it through 4 quarters, that's going to materially impact the Rams. I think Garoppolo is starter level. I think he's better than starter level. But understand, Stafford has a gun to stretch the field. Right? With Garoppolo, the offense is going to look materially different. Right? Let me also say, too, that the NFC East expects some surprises. Right? I know we've spent the offseason looking at this Micah Parsons controversy in Dallas. Now Parsons is gone. I think Green Bay is one of the teams you need to keep an eye on this season. But the Cowboys, even though they had a bad year last year and had problems, wow, they have some talent on the offensive side of the ball. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me hear yours in the comments section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.